everyone, and welcome back to the Mill Creek Government Channel. I'm Jessica Stutzman. Whether you love boating, sunbathing, or just taking a hike in nature, Presque State Park is where you want to be. The Presque Partnership is more focused now than ever on making the visitor experience on the peninsula an enjoyable one. Joining me today to talk with us about their upcoming winter projects and 2023 projects and events is Executive Director John DeMarco. John, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Hey, we always love coming and hanging out with the Mill Creek Government Channel and talking about what we have going on down at Presque State Park.
Yes, well, our absolute gem, it's the gem of the community. So Presque State Park is a state park, and it's governed under the DCNR, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. But can you help us better understand your role as the Presque Partnership and how that all ties into the park and to the DCNR?
Sure. Well, the Presque Partnership is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, meaning that we're funded by individuals, corporations who want to make a contribution, go through the partnership to be able to complete different projects on the park. So essentially our mission reflects that of the DCNR. We work really closely with DCNR on implementing projects and programs on the park through money that is coming from the community. So there are a variety of different special events, different projects that the partnership has implemented over the years since we're founded in 1994 to really improve the visitor experience while keeping the natural environment intact and preserved.
Yeah, and what's your organization look like? Where are you guys housed and how many employees do you have?
Well, you're looking at your employee right now. We are housed in the Tom Ridge Environmental Center, and we have a great working board, and we have a lot of volunteers, and throughout the year we bring on different interns from the local universities, Penn State Barron, Gannon, Mercyhurst, and Edinburgh. So it's a lot of people coming together, all working towards the same end goal. Like I said, we're working to enhance the visitor experience at Presque Isle.
And it's probably helpful to be, in the Tom Ridge Environmental Center because you have so many working relationships and partnerships throughout the Tom Ridge Center, right?
Correct. And I remember when you were there and, different organizations coming in, coming out and meeting spaces there. A number of organizations are housed within the Tom Ridge Environmental Center. DCNR, DEP has some offices, Sea Grant, the Erie Bird Observatory. So if you need an answer, you can pretty much get an answer to something pretty quickly just by walking around that building. Yes,
that's so true. It is a great place, a great space to visit. And John, I think this is a staggering fact. How many visitors do we have coming to Presque Isle every single year?
That number is around 4 million, and during the pandemic it was closer to 5. And that's pretty astronomical, and people wonder, how do you know that? Well, different times of the year, there are different kind of multipliers that are applied to a ticker that is on the outbound lane of the Presque Isle State Park. So they kind of check that tally every day, and depending on the time of year, of course, more people are coming in the summertime. They'll say, okay, this car has X number of people in it, and they multiply that, and that number has come to be about 4 to 5 million. And of course, there's people like me who might be on the park, several times a day, but it also incorporates the people that might not be driving onto the park. Might be coming by boat, just coming from around the marina and coming to one of the beaches and hanging out. So it's a pretty huge economic impact when you have something like that drawing so many people from really all over the country. It's incredible to see when we do our Chip In for Presque Isle program. The people that come in to grab a park map or a donation, you see license plates from all across the country. So it's pretty special.
It is special. And I love, again, 4 to 5 million. That is so many people here in our community. Mill Creek Township, we have 54,000 residents. And so I'm sure that contributes to the 4 million because we know what a special park we have here. And John, I was just wondering if anybody is watching our Mill Creek Government Channel, not from the Erie area, what makes Presque Isle Park so special? What can we do there? What can like a weekend getaway to Erie and Mill Creek and Presque Isle look like?
Yeah, so if you look at like a Google Earth imagery of the Great Lakes, you're not going to find anything quite like Presque Isle. It's a 3,200-acre sandy peninsula with inland waterways. The lagoons are very popular. There's incredible habitat for the wildlife, the fish, migrating birds. From the environmental standpoint, there's tons of research that can be done here on the park and that is being done on the park. Recreation-wise, there is everything for so many different seasons. That's one thing to remember. It's not just summer at Presque Isle and the beaches. Mm-hmm. The park doesn't close in the wintertime. It's open 365 days a year. It's free. And if you're dressed for the weather and you're into exploring nature outside of the normal summer season, there's so much to do. I mean, how do you enjoy the park?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
I'm curious.
I mean, I feel like I spent most of my summers playing beach volleyball. That's like ingrained in my memory bank. So beach volleyball, always laying out at the beach, boating. Kayaking. Now I'm into paddleboarding, and I'm teaching my daughter how to paddleboard. And trail hiking. I love inline skating. I think that's so fun. So I love doing that around the park. There's just so much to do. Dog walking. I love how all the dog walkers all say hi to each other. It's like a secret code. If you have a dog, like everyone just says hi. And my daughter loves your playgrounds. Can we talk about the playgrounds and the natural play spaces?
Yes, and we're fortunate enough to have two at Presque Isle, one being behind the Tom Ridge Environmental Center. That's donated in memory of Dave Shivers, whose company did a lot of the sand work on Presque Isle. And then our Beach 11 Nature Play Space is something that the partnership is very proud of. We put in about $100,000, and that was contributed funds from individuals, corporations, especially the Ronald McDonald House Charities has been a great partner. The Waterworks Playground is magnificent. Mm-hmm. And they all get a lot of great use, and especially with those nature playgrounds, it's really neat to see the gears turning in the kids' minds of, what can I do with this stump? Or how can I arrange these pieces of driftwood to maybe be like a little house or a little hut, or mm-hmm. skipping from one rock to the next, and a lot of just really fun stuff. And I know you have a 5-year-old mm-hmm. and we have a 3-year-old, and it really, we implemented the Nature Play Space project a few years before we had a child. And mm-hmm. now kind of seeing her play in those spaces, it means so much more to me as a parent to just have something out there educational where she can get dirty in kind of a natural but safe environment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I love, like the organic play of it. And so we'll come right off Beach 11, and you go to the left when you're coming off the beach, and like she's, pretending it's a theater, and there's a little mini fort there, and we're running through the tunnel, and we're jumping off the rocks, and kids love that. Imaginary play. So,
yeah.
So
and the best
cool.
part of it too is it's sustainable.
Yeah.
If a stick breaks or walks away, or just go to the beach and grab another one and
right.
put it right in this play space, or rocks or sand or whatever. So
right.
that's been great. When I go down to Presque Isle, I really love to fish. I like to ride my bike, and really, I think so many people just drive around the park to just kind of detox, mm-hmm. relax, just kind of enjoy the scenery.
Yeah.
But one thing I have been seeing people doing a lot, which you really don't think of, is surfing. There are some good spots on the lakeside when these fronts come in and the waves get really big. And it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of summer or in the fall when it's blowing 30 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. These surfers have all the gear, and they're out there to just catch a wave. And I just think that's mm-hmm. so neat and so unique to this area.
Yeah, I hope somebody's giving surfing lessons, because I really want to do that now. You just said that. So, that's so cool. We've got, during your Presque Isle days, I know we're going to cover it, but you've got, the sand sculptures and things like that. I mean, honestly, how many people take either their senior photos or their family photos, on Presque Isle? Like, it's just such an amazing place, and I think it's so beautiful. And I think when you look at the pictures of it, I don't know that you think like, hey, this is Erie, PA. Like, sometimes I look at it and I think, this beautiful blue heron, I think it looks like Florida. so it's really special.
Yeah, and we're blessed to have so many great photographers in the area that are willing to just share their talents and their imagery across Facebook or whatever channel it might be for all of us to enjoy, and that gets a huge reach too.
Yeah.
So we have these great volunteers, photographers who are really doing some excellent promoting for the area and for Presque Isle and Mill Creek.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about those events and fundraisers. You just held Discover Presque Isle. Was it successful?
It was a great success, and we had some of the best weather, I think, on record for the entire summer. Discover Presque Isle is now a 7-day, week-long event. It's heavier on the event side on the weekend, but we really try to incorporate a lot of different educational programming, working with different partners in the DCNR and local groups to introduce people to different aspects of the park that they might not be familiar with. It's all about discovery, kite flyers to archery to tree identification, good things for the younger kids. Then you get into the weekend and there's the pancake breakfast at the Rotary Pavilion, the sand sculpture competition, live music, bonfire, just a whole list of great activities. And we were, like I said, we were fortunate enough to have great weather, and crowds came out in droves. So we're looking forward to, of course, continuing to expand that event and take it in a new direction that is really about discovering the park.
Mm-hmm. And so again, it'll be held in 2023. Is it typically July that's held?
It'll always be the last full week in July.
Okay, so that's when you want to plan. If you're not from here, that's when you want to plan your trip here.
Yep, and we have our all of our dates for all of our events for next summer up on our website. So if you're planning ahead, which I don't do often in my own personal life, but if you're one of those people, I think it'll be a good resource for you. discoverpi.com.
Awesome. Okay, so let's also talk about Chip In for Presque Isle. That's something new too, right?
Yeah, that was a great program that we implemented after the pandemic, where we really couldn't do events, but we knew we needed to get out on the park and continue to do some fundraising. So we occupied the 4th parking lot on the bay side as you enter the park, and we developed this little thing called a wood chip. And it's basically for a $5 donation to the Presque Isle Partnership, you get your little wood chip that has a fun Presque Isle related image on it, and on the back there's a number. If you register that number on the website, then you're automatically entered in to win monthly Presque Isle themed prizes and a grand prize of $1,000 cash. So we had a very happy group of individuals who won this year, and the people who won the $1,000 just signed a contract for a new furnace, so they were very happy to be able to be rewarded for their generosity in giving back to the park. What's really great about the Chip In program too is that our friends at Sarah's Restaurant, to anybody that donated, they gave them a free ice cream or yogurt, which, kudos to Sarah's for really giving back to Presque Isle. As we know, so much of their business is derived from just being right there at the park, and they recognize that, and that's something to be applauded.
That's really awesome. Who doesn't love a Sarah's ice cream cone? Right? Does it get on or get off the park? I usually do it when I get off the park. It's like my treat, but yeah, that's awesome. And let's talk about the Sunset Music Series. Oh my gosh, you have such talented people coming in, and the events are just so cool. Who doesn't love music on the beach? Yes,
and Erie is very blessed to have a lot of free music, but I strongly believe that ours is one of the most unique. The UPMC Sunset Music Series is a 6-week Wednesday night concert series on the beach. DCNR brings a stage onto the beach with a backhoe. And we set it up, we set everything up. It's ADA accessible with these really nice Moby mats. I call them like magic carpets. You roll them out over the sand. They make it really easy for people to walk on, even people in wheelchairs to gain access to that venue. There's hula hoop demonstrations and classes for the kids. My daughter loved that this year. We had Connie's ice cream down here at the park doing ice cream, and then food trucks, different ones come each week. 2 bands play each night, and it's really just a great time. Those are at Beach 11. Beach 11 is an area that has probably the most parking, and it's the flattest, and it really conducive to some of those larger events that we do. So really, it wouldn't be possible without so many volunteers that come and help set up every week for that, and especially our title sponsors, UPMC HIMA and UPMC Health Plan. They make it possible every year to continue to just provide this to Erie for free.
Yeah, and those, you said they were Moby mats? Is that
Yeah.
what that's called? Those are incredible, not only for, ADA compliance and folks who, get around in a wheelchair. That does help it make it more accessible to them. But also, I'm that mom on the beach with the giant wagon that I'm lugging behind me. And those things, man, they make getting around so much easier. So kudos to the team that, thought of those and unrolls those every day. Those things are amazing.
Yes, and just being out there setting up, that's probably the biggest compliment we hear is like, man, these people aren't necessarily telling us, but you hear them talking to the person that they're with, like, wow, these mats are really nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes that sand is hot enough to, burn your feet.
I know.
Like, badly.
It is hot enough to burn your feet for sure. But
so it's nice having those.
yeah, those help you get around. How do you choose the musicians that perform every week at the Sunset Music Series?
Well, we have a committee that gets together after all the submissions come in, and if you do have a band, you can go to the website right now, discoverpi.com, and submit your band information. Who are you? What do you play? What would it mean to you? That kind of thing. And YouTube links. So we just go through it and look who's played before. And you like to give different people different chances. And it's tough because last year we had like 150.
Wow.
And we have 12 spots to fill.
Oh my gosh.
So sometimes it does come down to budget too, and this organization is all about giving back to the park. So it's really nice when some musicians, are willing to give back some of their talents to the park and for the benefit of the park as well.
So we have talented photographers, we have talented musicians. So we've got it all here on Presque Isle. And then we have talented athletes. You hold a lot of events for athletes, the Presque Isle Sunrise Ride and the Presque Isle Triathlon. Tell us how those went this year, and then if there's going to be any changes for the future.
Yeah, so the Sunrise Ride was part of the Lake Erie Cycle Fest this year, and the Lake Erie Cycle Fest is something that the Erie Sports Commission has really spearheaded, but they invited various nonprofits to kind of host their own ride, where then those nonprofits would benefit from the ride, and we were asked to do the Presque Isle Sunrise Ride, which is kind of a staple. If you're doing a cycling event in Erie, you have to catch a sunrise. So that was great. We had an attendance of about 100 people, and that was actually the week of Discover Presque Isle. So everybody that participated in the Sunrise Ride, and it's leisure, it's not a race or anything. You get to go ahead and enjoy a pancake breakfast for free right after that. And the Presque Isle Triathlon came back this year after a 2-year hiatus, the 20th annual Presque Isle Tri, and it was a great success. We maxed out at 400 participants. It was a bluebird day, excellent morning. Everybody was, on their game, and we had another excellent Presque Isle Triathlon, and just a round of applause to our race director, Pat Davis, and longtime board member. She has decided to throw in the towel for the race director position of the triathlon, and we're transitioning to a new race director, Lauren Eckendorf, who her and her team now run the Edinburgh Tri, and she herself is an Ironman athlete and all that. So we're very excited to bring her and her team on board to continue that legacy of the Presque Isle Triathlon and what Pat Davis really, took it to this level.
And now I know you're always on the organizing side. Have you ever had a chance to run the triathlon or to do the activities in the triathlon?
No, and I really don't have a desire to.
Okay, I'm going to do it one of these years. I know every year I'm like, I'm going to sign up, John. I'm going to do it. I think that I'm either going to do the running and biking portion, and then I'm going to recruit some people to help me out because I don't think I could make the whole thing, but I'm going to do it. I promise you. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, if you do it, let me know, and
Okay.
maybe I'll do it, and I'll do I'll join a relay team with you.
Okay.
I'll do the bike.
Okay, that sounds good. We're putting together our team, everyone. And the last big event that I want to talk about, because we're actually going into it right now, is the Presque Isle Lights. How awesome is this?
Oh, it's something so unique to Presque Isle, and Presque Isle is a 13-mile road loop around, so it's a drive-through event. There's only a little bit of power on Presque Isle. There's one power line running through. Unfortunately, we have a great relationship with Penelec when we implemented this in 2020. it was quite a feat to decide, where can we put power? How can we do this? How can we do it tastefully? Because this is a state park. It's not a zoo or an amusement park. So there's this balancing act, and I think kind of what we've done and how it's evolving is it's evolving steadily, and it's evolving in the kind of the right way. We really want to focus on the areas where there is power, the buildings, the different historical sites around the park, the Presque Lighthouse. So I think this year when you come down, you're going to notice there's going to be more color, there's going to be more detail on the buildings, there's going to be a little bit more movement, and maybe a couple new displays that are related to Erie and some of the things that may have happened here back in, let's say, the 60s.
Oh, that's fun. I'm going to love that. Are you talking folklore?
I am.
Oh, so cool.
So there's a little connection there.
Awesome.
And it was just a fun event that so many great supporters have really helped us along the way. Senator Dan Laughlin approached us back in 2020 and said, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Everybody's stuck in their house, and we need to do something to just kind of brighten people's spirits. So that was the genesis of it. It was a phone call on a summer afternoon from Senator Dan Laughlin, and he kind of took the ball from there, and we kind of gathered our partners and are just continuing to develop it. So this year it starts on Thursday, December 1st, and it'll be Thursday through Friday for the first 3 weekends, and then Thursday, Friday before Christmas and New Year's.
So cool. I did do it last year. We did drive around the park, and it was amazing. It was such a fun experience with my family. We're making it part of our Christmas tradition, and it is nice just to kind of just be outside and be in nature. I know it's cold out, but it's nice to kind of get out of the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And you were telling me that, you just didn't stop at Presque Isle. You did the Presque Isle thing, then you went to hit other neighborhoods, and it just became a whole night and a whole event.
Oh, yeah, we were out for hours.
And that's what we encourage people to do. It'll take probably about 40 to 45 minutes to get around the park, and that leaves plenty of time to, hit some of the great neighborhoods that really go Clark Griswold style. Yeah,
they do. I mean, there are some neighborhoods when you pretty close to Presque Isle that all the neighbors have decided together that they're going to be on one light display with the same music, and I think that's so cool. I think my neighbors and I should all do this. So if you're listening, I'm totally down for this. I have to get Christmas lights and all the decorations to participate, but everybody is just so into their Christmas lights and theme, and like you said, just bringing Christmas spirit and Christmas joy back, because 2020 was a tough year for sure. But you can't do any of that without volunteers, right?
We can't do anything without volunteers, and really we can't do anything without some support. And support comes in a lot of different ways. It could be monetary support, it could be in-kind donations, it could be a donation of your time. All three of those are very important to the sustainability of this organization.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about what there is to do on Presque Isle and how much it provides to us.
Yeah.
So through the partnership, there are so many ways to give back.
Okay.
And we implemented a new volunteer platform on our website.
Okay, so I want people to go to your website and to check out social media and whatnot. So can you help us find you? Where do we go to? How do we get in touch with you?
The easiest way to check out the Presque Isle Partnership and learn about what we can do and how you can get involved is discoverpi.com. It's really simple. It's named after one of our greatest events, Discover Presque Isle. So just remember, Discover PI. And then our Facebook page, Presque Isle Partnership. That's where you'll find really anything and everything that we have going on. Give us a call, stop down, pop into the Tonbridge Center, ask about us. There's so much to get involved in.
Yeah, and the gift shop, right? Make a stop at the gift shop.
Yes, the Tonbridge Environmental Gift Shop is a great example of some of the artwork that that some of these great artists have just been inspired by. Photography, different cool picture frames of things found at Presque Isle. T-shirts, memorabilia. You're going to want to stop there as well.
Yeah. John, thank you so much. I know you're probably going to leave here and go back to Presque Isle and keep putting up lights, but thank you so much for coming today and stopping into the studio to talk to us about our beautiful Presque Isle.
Oh, thanks, Jessica. I appreciate it.
Sure. Viewers, oh my gosh, there is so much going on at Presque Isle all the time. DiscoverPI.com. Again, don't miss any of their events. If you're an athlete, if you're a photographer, if you're a family and you just want to go enjoy the park and learn about its nature and its beauty and the environment, Presque Isle has something for everyone. And again, Presque Isle State Park does so much with all of the funding. They get to do projects like the lifeguard stations and the turtle observation deck. So everything they do and put back into the community. So I want to thank you for tuning into today's show, and until next time, have a great day.